I'm going to walk through the Lenovo IdeaCentre Gaming 5i and give you a clear picture of whether it actually lives up to the hype for everyday gamers. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In the next few minutes I'll focus on the kind of hesitation most buyers feel, wondering if a pre-built desktop will really deliver smooth performance without draining the wallet, if the cooling system will stay quiet during marathon sessions, and whether the included peripherals are just a gimmick or actually useful. First off, let's talk about the core of any gaming PC, the graphics card and CPU. The 5i pairs an RTX 3060 with an Intel i5-12400, a combination that, on paper, sits comfortably in the 1080p to 1440p sweet spot. What that means in practice is you can push titles like Valorant, Elden Ring, or Cyberpunk 2077 at high settings and still keep frame rates above 60 frames per second on a 1080p monitor, and you'll get respectable 4550 frames per second at 1440p with medium-high settings. If you're the type who likes to crank up ray tracing, the 3060 will let you dabble in DLSS-enhanced modes without choking the system, but you shouldn't expect ultra-ray-traced 4K performance out of the box. Now, many people worry about storage speed. This model bundles a 512GB SSD alongside a 1TB HDD. The SSD handles Windows 11, your favorite launchers and the games you play most often, so load times feel snappy. Think under 10 seconds for a typical Call of Duty map. The HDD is where you can stash the bulk of your library, mods, and recordings. The trade-off is you have to manage where you install each title. If you fill the SSD completely, you'll notice the slower HDD boot times on the next game you launch. For most users, though, the split works fine and you avoid the premium price of a 1TB or larger NVMe drive. Cooling is a big concern for anyone who plans on long sessions. Lenovo markets the IdeaCentre Gaming 5i as cooler by 5 degrees, faster by many degrees. In real use, the dual-fan layout and a fairly roomy chassis keep the RTX 3060 and the i5 at comfortable temperatures, usually hovering in the low 70s C under load, dropping a few degrees when you step away from an intense match. The fans aren't whisper quiet, you'll hear a steady hum that ramps up as the GPU pushes its limits, but it never turns into a rattling distraction. If you're sensitive to fan noise, you might want to add a small aftermarket fan or invest in a more insulated room, but for most gamers the acoustic profile is acceptable. Design-wise, Lenovo went for a sleek, matte black finish that doesn't scream gaming the way some RGB towers do. The front panel has a subtle logo and a single USB-C port, while the rear offers the usual mix of USB-A, HDMI, DisplayPort, and Ethernet. The inclusion of a mouse and keyboard is convenient for someone just getting started, but the keyboard is a basic membrane model, nothing you'd bring to a competitive esport. If you already own a mechanical keyboard or a higher-end mouse, you'll probably replace the bundle pieces anyway. Who should consider buying this desktop? If you're a casual to mid-range gamer who wants a solid out-of-the-box experience, don't want to tinker with custom builds, and value the peace of mind that comes with a brand-backed warranty, the IdeaCentre Gaming 5i hits a sweet spot. It's also a good fit for students or home office users who need a capable machine for both work and play. The 16GB of RAM and the SSD give you responsive multitasking, while the RTX 3060 can accelerate creative apps like Photoshop or Blender. The 3-month Xbox GamePass trial adds a nice bonus if you enjoy subscription gaming, giving you instant access to a library of titles without spending extra money right away. On the flip side, you should skip this model if you're targeting ultra-high-resolution 4K gaming, or if you plan to overclock heavily. The i5-12400, while solid, caps out at 4.4 GHz, and the cooling solution is designed for stock performance, not extreme tuning. Likewise, if you already own a high-end graphics card or you're looking to build a machine that you can upgrade piece by piece for years, a pre-built like this can feel limiting. You'll be stuck with the motherboard Lenovo chose, which isn't the most upgrade-friendly for future GPU swaps or additional M.2 drives. Lastly, if you have a very tight budget, there are cheaper alternatives that pair a similar GPU with a less expensive chassis, though you'll likely sacrifice the sleek look and the bundled peripherals. A practical strength that often gets overlooked is the Windows 11 integration. Lenovo ships the system with the OS pre-installed and a set of driver packages that are regularly updated through Lenovo Vantage. That means you spend less time hunting for the right chipset driver and more time actually playing. The software also offers a game mode that optimizes background processes, something I found useful when launching a game directly from the desktop. Shortcut CPU usage dipped a few percent and the game launched a touch faster. A hidden trade-off shows up when you look at the power supply. The unit includes